So now I'm going to discuss with you the Microsoft Access, and we are going to create database using Microsoft Access. So when you are going to click on Microsoft Access from start menu, and in Microsoft package you have Microsoft Access option. When you're going to click on it, this window will be popped up in front of you, in which there are many options. One is blank desktop. We are going to use blank desktop database. There are multiple other options. For example, if we want to create a database for the call track in the form of call trackers, that which numbers, for example, any specific number call trackers, that in which dates, from when to when any specific number has make a phone call, for how many durations. Similarly, if like call trackers, we have vehicles tracker systems, for example, uh, that from which time to which time the vehicle is moving and which areas. So these are the different call trackers and vehicle trackers. By default, apps available, tables available, through which we can easily create our database, right? But right now I'm going to select, instead of all these different options, only the blank desktop database, in which I'm going to create all the tables and forms all of my own. These are the templates available. By using these different templates, we can maintain or create different types of other database. For example, when you have a tracker, so at the last, you can ask your vehicle tracker service providers that please give me the entire record of my vehicle's movement from uh, June, for example, May 1 first to May 31st. So every day where your vehicle was moving, so you can ask them for those database, and they can provide you. So they have different all the records of your vehicle's movements. So in a similar way, customer services, home inventory, lending library, there's who comes to lend which book, from which date to which date. So there are different options. You can see who charitable contribution, that which which person has contributed in which month, how much amount. So charitable contributions you have multiple more options. For example, personal account ledgers, vehicle maintenance record as well. Sometimes you don't know, but your vehicle maintenance, for example, dealers call you that, Sir, please come for the vehicle maintenance, as you 1 month has passed and you have to change your engine oil, and you have to your services are due, and this type of. So they are maintaining all these type of record database records. Similarly, you can see there are multiple options. So we are only, I'm not going with any by default option. I'm going with the first one, that is blank data desktop database. So when I'm going to click on it, it will ask me to create and location where I want to store this particular. So later on I can change this location as well. So I'm click on create. So now you can see the window is popped up in front of me, in which Microsoft Excel different tabs are available. For example, file tab, you can see home tab, create, external, database tool, fields, table, and so many other tabs. By default, this area is a single table in front of me, and you can see over here this is a table as well. I haven't saved over here. uh, you can see there are two different versions have different way to deal with this table. Sometimes it might be possible that if you are using an older version before to 2013, Microsoft 2013, 2010, or any previous version, it might be possible that you will get nothing over here, and you have to click over here and then select create, and then go on the table. So new versions by default, they for our table will be in front of you. Either you want to save it or not, or you want to rename that table or not, it is totally up to you. But by default, uh, one table will be in front of you. So you can see there are different headings. One heading is tables, and under this tables heading, I can have multiple tables. Right now I have only one table. I can add multiple tables over here. All right, so what else I have in this Microsoft Excel? First, I have to, this is, you can see in front of, in this table, you have ID, and then something I have to add over here. So this is, I am not in the design view. I am right now in the data sheet view. So first I have to shift my design view by right clicking over here on the table and click over here. I'm going to switch from design view, from the datasheet view to the design view, so that I can add my field names and field data types. So when I'm going to click on design view, so it is, you can see Microsoft Access is asking me to save it with the name. I by default name is table one. You can change the name as per your requirement. So I'm going to change the name, that student information. I'm writing now student, student information. I have written the name of my table as student information. So this is unique ID, and unique ID has to be auto number. So that every customer has a unique number. So when I have selected it as an auto number, so it is going to generate the number for me automatically. And this number, whatever the number he is going to assign to my first customer, all other customers, all other students will have the unique identity. No ID is actually, I can say, no, none of the student or none of the patient or none of the customer will have the similar type of ID. So this is the reason why I have auto number. So it might be possible that I have just started my database. So first student or first record, it will give the ID one, then to second record, it is going to give the ID two. And in a similar way, if I have 1,000, I already added 1,000 records. So, and I'm going to add further records. So then the next record will be 1,001, 1,002, and so on. Second thing, if I want to change the location where my this database is actually maintaining, so I can change by clicking on file. I'm going to click on save as, and I want to save it as where I want to save. So by default it is by default link is in the documents, libraries and documents. So I want to make it so that I can easily access it on later on. I want to save it on my desktop. So I am going to click on desktop and student. I'm going to name my file as student information database. So I'm going to save it, student information database. So in this way, I have changed my path where I'm saving this database. So now this file is available on my desktop. Now, as you see right now, nothing is here since I have closed. When I'm going to change the paths, when I have changed my path of the file, so the table is by default closed. So if I want to reopen that particular table, so I'm going to double click on it. So you can see that table is available again in front of me. Now, on after right click over here, I'm going to change the mode from the data sheet view, I'm going to change the mode to design view, since I have to add some more fields. So first field is ID, and it is auto generated ID. Then name of particular. So this is the new version. So name in data type, which field name is name, and which type of data I want to add. So name is a textual thing. So we have two options: short text or long text. In previous versions, we have only text. So either it is short or long, we have to maintain in the same field. But here I have two different options: short text as well and long text as well. If you want to put the short names of your employees or your customers or your students, for example, you are willing to use any specific name, only first name, you are not willing to put their entire name, so you can use short text. But if you want to give the entire name, and sometimes names are so long that, for example, any student name can be Sayyid Muhammad Maqsood Hassan Jafri, so it is a huge name. So if I'm going to select short text, then it will be difficult for me to maintain the long names. So you can use long text. In long text, you can add short names as well, and you can uh, add long name as well. So it is always better choose data type long text for the name. Then you can use the CNIC, and for the CNIC we can give any specific mask. So you can see at this below area you have input mask. So when I'm going to click over here in input mask, we have different types. So mostly CNIC is in the form of dashes. So uh, if I'm going to use any by default name and change it as per my need, so I can do it. So social security number, you can see over here there are two dashes. So I have selected from here, and input mask I want to change. So what I'm going to do is, mostly in CNIC we have first input mask for 5 digits, then 7 after dash, then 7 digits, and then 1 digit. So 5 zeros, 1 2 3 4 5, then dash, then zeros, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and then 1 0. So this is the mask field, and mask field placeholder character is dash, so that it can be separated. Next, with the symbol in the mask like this, or without dash. So I want with dash. So this one. Next, and finish. Then student name, CNIC, program, in which program he or she has taken the admission. So for example, program. So for the program I have to enter some programs. So where I am going go, I want I have to maintain a drop down list. So where I will go to the lookup wizard. I will type in the values that I want. Okay, second option, that I will type in the values that I want. Then I'm going to click on next. Then over here I can add different names. For example, uh, computer science department. For example, biomedical. For example, the programs we are offering in our universities, biomedical, DPT. For example, we are offering the program business administration. For example, nursing. So, so that the student who wants to take admission in any department, we can select, or he or she can select if we have given this option on online on our website. So if he want to get online admission, so he can select the specific department. All right, next, field, which field names program. Over here you have seen something is written. Do you want to store multiple values for this lookup? Allow multiple values. So what will happen if I allow multiple values? Mostly you have seen in different tuition center or coaching center, if a person has uh, if any student took admission in physics and chemistry subject, although, and if with physics and chemistry subject, or he or she has enrolled in first year and second year subjects. So with first year subjects, he can also uh, enrolled in computer literacy programs or linguistic English language programs. So in those cases we can allow multiple values, so that if he or she is enrolled in first year, ninth matric, first year, second year, so we can click over there all the courses we are offering in first year, ninth matric, first year, second year, and also additional courses he can take, computer literacy course or linguistic course. So over there we mostly go with allow multiple values. But when a student at university level is taking admission, so if we cannot allow multiple programs, if he or she has taken the admission in computer science, so he cannot take admission in business administration. If if that student has taken the admission in biomedical, then he cannot take the admission in computer science, and so on. So I'm not going to click on allow multiples, since in university I have to check only in one program, one discipline, that he or she can take admission at a time. So I'm not going to click on allow multiple values. If you are going to click on allow multiple values, you can select more option at a time and finish. Then fees. What about fee? Again, I am going to create a drop down list that lookup wizard. I will try my on fees paid or unpaid. Fees column paid, either, so that we can confirm that his admission is confirmed or not. Paid fees paid or unpaid. Again, next, we cannot allow multiple values. If fees is paid, then it cannot be possible that fees is unpaid, and if it is unpaid, then it cannot be possible that it is paid. So finish. So we have maintained all the fields required. For example, name, CNIC, date of admission. We can add some, so that you must know that how we can add the dates. So, and which data type we use for the and date of admission. So for that we have, you can see date and time option. You can see over here we have date and time option. So I have saved and I have changed my data from design view to data sheet view, so that I can, in data sheet view, I can add the records. So these are different fields which I'm discussing in the theory session, that you can see field name. These are different fields, and these are the data types which we can, while adding the records, these are the different types of data we can take as an input for these fields. So when I'm going to click on data sheet view, now I can add the records in my table. You can see this is my table in which ID is an auto number. Whenever I'm going to click on name and write down the name of my student, for example, the name of my student, I can adjust these columns as well, so that I can see my data, entire data. For example, the CNIC number, the fees, the admission date. So you can see, for example, my student name is Ahmed. So when I have clicked, right, I have started to write down the name, first name. You can see my ID is auto generated, first ID. For example, the name of CNIC number of Ahmed is 11111. So you can see program. When I'm going to click on program, so you can see when I have selected the data type, this is due to the data type I have selected. I now can use easily these options. So for example, Ahmed has taken the admission in DPT department or a biomedical department. For example, DPT department. So fees, he has already paid his fees online, and the admission, he has taken admission on 1st of May. When I'm going to click on further tab button, so I will be on the next record. So this entire is our record. This is one record, one student's record, and this row will give me second record. So Bashir and CNIC number. I'm making it easier so that I am giving same type of CNIC digits. Bashir has taken admission in computer science department. Fees is still not paid, unpaid, and he has taken the admission on 2nd of May. This database is actually maintained when a person come and visit in our university, and uh, our database table is maintained by a data entry operator, and when he is giving us the information on any page or any paper or any form, manual form, we are adding this database by our own. But it is it is not online. So if I want to make this table available online, so that students fill their forms, and whatever the information they are sending from online forms, that this table is automatically updated and maintain the records of those students. So for that we have form options. Second thing I have discussed with you, we have a query option. So in this admission, student information and admission form, there's nothing to do with the queries, but sometimes if we want to perform some sort of calculation in Microsoft Access, there is a query option as well. So in order to understand, make you understand that we have a query option as well. So I am giving you the overview of all the possible options we have in our when we are maintaining the database. But in queries option, we are not going to add any perform any sort of calculation, since we do not have any type of calculation over here right now. But how I can add the queries? So in create options, you can see we have table column, we have queries column, we have forms column, different types of, and we have reports column. So these are the four basic things we must know when we are working with Microsoft Access. Basic things. You can see we have queries. In queries, we have query wizard and query design. Similarly, we have in forms we have form wizard, and in reports we have report wizards. Why we are using wizard instead of designs? When you are not a programmer or you don't know how to do coding, so you always go with wizard options. Wizard options are for the non-technical persons. Similarly, if you want query wizards, here is a query wizard option. If you want form wizards, there is a form wizard option. You want report, there is a report wizard option. So non-programmers, those who don't know much about coding, so wizards are the options. So for the query wizard, when I'm going to click on query wizard, see simple query wizard, cross table query. So right now we have not much to discuss with the calculations type of things. So simple query wizard, I want to add these fields. If you want to select any specific field, you can select some of the fields and you can eliminate other fields. But right now I have some number of fields and I want all these fields in query option as well. So I'm going to click over here. All are added. I can add these fields one by one as well, and I can select all if I want all these fields. Next, open the query to view information. Yes, finish. So you can see previously we have only tables and only one table option. Now I am having another heading, that is query heading, and since I haven't renamed, so it is student information table query. I can rename it as well by clicking on and rename from here. So you can see I have one table and one query over here. So I'm not going to perform some more things in queries. So one by one, I'm going to click on save and close. Then over here again, save and close. Now I am going for the form wizard so that I can create an online form for my students so that they can fill from online and they can pay their fees online, and all the database maintain in this table when they submit their online forms. So form wizard, I want all these fields so that my students, those who are willing to join in my university, can fulfill all these information for our database. Next, there are different types of forms available: column form, tabular form, data sheet form, justified. So basically I am okay with columnar form. Next, student information query, no. Student information form. Finish. So you can see here I have my form in which these are the areas where students can add their information, that is ID is auto generated, name, they can provide their name, CNIC, which program they want to take admission, whether they have paid their fees, submitted their checks and selected over here paid or unpaid, and date of admission, which date they have applied this form. So this is form. So this form is useless unless and until we do not have the form buttons. So what we are going to do is we are going to add some form these forms buttons. So